So my name is Winmar Rust. I'm the chairman of United Rugby Club. So the club started in 1916. It was founded. Back then they call it United Services because it was all the teachers and civil workers, if you want to call it like that. And then they dropped the services part and just kept it United. Those days you had your doctors, and those guys were playing for one club and the rest were playing for another club, so it was quite divided. And that's how it originated, and since then, obviously, as we all know, the modern United today is integrated throughout all different cultures and different people, so that's how we started, and we're very proud to say we are more than 100 years old and the oldest club in Namibia. So still going strong and keeping up the traditions of those days. Back in the day when I started playing, the NRU paid for all the travel fees and accommodation fees and all that, so that wasn't a burden on the club. But these days you have to do it yourselves, and it's quite expensive. You can imagine with fuel prices where they are these days. It's very expensive to travel. And I feel for clubs like Kudus and Grootfontein who has to travel. Most of their games are far games. So it's difficult. The way we manage it, we try to keep the discipline around your subscription fees for the players. And we as a committee work very hard to gather sponsorships through different corporations and companies within Namibia. And I think we did a very good job over the last 4 or 5 years. We've always been able to meet all our expenses and all our stuff that we have to pay for every weekend, and so at this stage it's still going good, and we're trying to put some other structures in place for additional income. The old boys are trying to organize a golf tournament. We have a yearly of an annual bowls tournament that generates funds for us. We're looking at this year, especially being at World Cup year, we have a few ideas that we want to do with a few Namibian games and South African games that we want to do on the field with a big screen and theme park type of thing. So there's some ideas that comes through that generates funds for us and helps us to get through the year. And obviously your gate money is also a big thing with the supporters coming in and so on. So
So the merge, speaking of, I heard you mentioning Trustco. The merge with Trustco Group Holdings looks to have impacted the club positively, given the long relationship with the CEO. Do you see this partnership continue, like as the club, and I say not you personally, Jay, does the club see this partnership continuing for years to come, especially given how FNB has really infiltrated the rugby scene, with sponsorships? You guys are basically the only club that looks odd, looks on the other side. Like, can you tell us more about the sponsorship and just how long it still is and how it has impacted the club as a whole?
So Trustco is obviously, they are a big part of our success over the last 10 years, if you want to call it that. Without them, we wouldn't have been where we are today. They are the main club sponsor, so they're not, and they sponsor our kit. So we don't get actual funds in rand value from them, but what they sponsor us is already a big help and helps the rugby a lot. I think it's a joint thing. I think the main club committee is doing a very brilliant job at this stage for United as a whole, as a sport club, not just a rugby club. You can just see the facilities, the way it was upgraded and everything that was added on to the facilities. The aesthetics of the club just picked up a lot. So I think it's a partnership between the main club and Trustco. Trustco has always been good and kind to us. So I think the contract expires in 2026, where we will revise and recheck everything. So hopefully we can build on another partnership and another sponsorship for years to come, and so it can be beneficial again for both parties.
Well, Arafat, I can tell you that we're much fitter than we were last year this time. We started with the pre-season program last year, October already, and we really had a good buy-in from the players from October up until now. That's the one thing. The second thing is, I think at the beginning of last year we had a completely new team. And when I'm saying team, I'm not only saying 15 guys or 22 guys, I'm talking globally. United started afresh with the exodus of the senior players from 2019. Obviously 20 and 21 we didn't play a lot of rugby, which didn't help a lot. But with all the new players that we got, we knew that we were going to go through a building phase with the team. I still think that we could have won more games last year, but our fitness let us down in the second half. We were in the games all the time last year, and then 10 minutes into the second half, we just couldn't handle the pressure anymore because we weren't fit enough. Where I think we're fit enough now. Well, not fit enough. You can never be fit enough, but we're much fitter than we were last year, and I think that the players are starting to know each other better. They're starting to create their own culture, their own team culture, their own ways of doing things, and understanding my way and Peter's way of coaching as well, which is definitely contributing to us getting better results. So yeah, that's a main reason I think that we are in the position that we are now. Yeah, so obviously what we've done in the beginning of the year, which we couldn't do last year because of numbers, is we've selected a squad of 27 players, which includes the 4 under 20 players that the first team works with, and then obviously the 5 players that's not picked for the weekend 22 goes down to the reserve league team. There's always players in the reserve league team that can play first team at any moment of time. For us, it's just a matter of the amount of practices that the guys get to, where their fitness levels are at. It's unfair for a reserve league player to be thrown into a first team and wanting him to perform if you know that he's not fit and he hasn't had enough game time or whatever. But obviously, with that said, with this weekend second team that's playing, obviously we've got 2 or 3 players that we are looking at, but they're coming from our system to there. So we're just giving them game time there and developing them in different positions, and then eventually making them, for when the call up comes for the first team, that they properly prepared and ready for the challenge.
Okay. So the lack of financial rewards for rugby players in Namibia, I assume may make it difficult to attract or keep the talent that you currently have in the pool. How do you recruit players at Trustco United, and what do you look for in a potential signing? Do you guys sign players?
We don't sign players. I think signing an amateur rugby player for money is not the way to go. We're not a professional sport. Obviously, what we try to do is, if we get players here that we know need financial assistance, we try to organise jobs for them. A job for me is it's a way of life. Rugby at United, it's a way of life. It's not only the rugby. It's not only what you do on the field. It's what you do off the field, and what you do in the week, what you do when you're at home. Any amateur signing is not worth $3,000-4,000, whatever it is, a month. I'd much rather get a player a job where he earns more money than that. He's got responsibility, he grows as a person, and it reflects on the rugby field as well. I've been in this position a million times where players ask me what we can bring to the table for them if they come to United, and I'm always willing to say, listen, we'll help you to get a job. We're on our way to getting match fees and all that, but it shouldn't be a thing of what do I get if I come there. It's a thing of what can I bring to the club, what can I bring, what part of Robbie can he bring to United, and what can he make his own and build a legacy for himself. And I think that's the right way to approach amateur rugby, and I think if your mindset's correct in that way, you'll make the step up to a professional or semi-professional level where you'll be able to be paid for playing rugby.
So you were right. So it's quite a big shoe to fill. But I know with God-given talent, a lot of hard work, perseverance, dedication, and a grit to be able to hand over the responsibility to the players to make the women's team great, to actually just tie into what the men has achieved over the years.
Could you tell us more about the group of players that you currently have on the team?
Quite interesting. We got a good mixture of players. For instance, we've got 4 or 5 players that has never played rugby in their life. So this is their first season playing rugby. And then you've got players that has played national 15, national 7s. So it's really a good mixture of players, you know, where the other one, where the one lacks, the next one comes in and fills that void. But that gives us opportunity to groom the ladies that has never played rugby, to groom them to a level where, you know what, this is what the rugby actually is. And it's quite exciting to be part of that journey.
So the potential for women rugby to be successful in Namibia is huge, especially
Definitely.
given that it looks like it's a long-term project. What do you think we as a rugby community can do to help more in regards to?
I think first of all, the main thing would be support. You know, irrespective on the field, to have stadiums full of people to support them, but also when you see them on the streets, when you at home, you know, the support from the family. Because remember, normally it's the men going out to play rugby, to practice and on Saturdays, but in this case it's totally reversed. So the men at home, or you know, they need to look after the kids, they need to maintain the household, where they allow the women to come out and play rugby. So it's actually quite exciting to know that there's a huge future, and that men can play a huge role to make this successful.
What are your goals for the team and how do you plan to achieve them? I think that's, especially given that your fiercest rival won the league last year.
Yes, yes. You will have a common goal, and that would be to play rugby. You know, to enjoy the season. If you don't enjoy playing rugby, there's no use in winning the league, because then you won't understand what the sacrifices were. You won't understand what the joy is of winning the league. So for me personally, it's enjoying rugby, giving the ladies a bit of the exposure that I have had the privilege to have, you know. And at the end of the day, should we win the league, that would be the cherry on the cake. But for me, enjoying rugby to the fullest and giving back what I have received over the few years.
My name is Du Plessis, and I'm 24 years old, and I'm the captain of United. No. I don't think there's a chance that I'll ever play for Wanderers. Nothing against Wanderers, just like it's just like the principle, you know. It's like it's just the integrity for playing this club. I won't. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I have a lot of friends of Wanderers and stuff, but no, I like the rivalry, and I'm this side, and I'll stay this side.
My blood is blue. I'm so sorry, but my blood is blue. It's nothing against them. They have a wonderful team. But unfortunately, my blood is blue. I'm sorry about this.
Opa. I think that's where maybe he gets his name. He plays.
What's the culture like in the club?
No, the culture is good. We have good traditions, and the vibes between each other is also good at this time. The culture is on a high for this year, so it's very nice. It's picking up as well, so it's good.
So we take it one match at a time.
Okay.
Yes, of course we have some goals, and we've set some high goals for us. But I mean, it's a brand new team, and our first hurdle of beating Kudus was achieved. So we actually take it one game at a time. We don't see any team going to be easy for us. I've told them from the beginning, ladies, it's going to be tough this year. We are going to play against teams that have been together for 2-3 years. We are brand new. But I think what I also motivate them, and I tell them, ladies, we have something they don't have. And then they always just look at me and say, Chera, but I know we have it. And I said, yes, if we take what we have and we work hard, then we can do this.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's touching. It is.